Hi guys, how are you all? I hope everyone are doing well. This is Giridhar and you're watching It's Learning Time. So today I am back with the another new and interesting video on the lesson The Fundamental Unit of Life. Now, do you know what is our most fundamental unit of life? That is none other than cells, which makes up our body. Watch the video till end so that you won't be having any doubts and you write your bio exam easily as I give you very easy definitions. And you will be really surprised to know all about the cells. So, in no time, let us begin the chapter. Before we start the lesson, you need to have a most basic question. What are the living organisms made up of? So the answer is all the living organisms are made up of cells, and cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. First, let us know about the history of the cell. Cells were first discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665 with the help of a primitive microscope which was built by him. Then the scientist Leeuwenhoek in 1674 with the improved microscope discovered free living cells in pond water for the first time. Later, Robert Brown in 1831 discovered the nucleus in the cell. Purkinje in 1839 coined the term protoplasm for the fluid part of the cell. Schleiden in 1838 and Schwann in 1839 proposed the cell theory which stated that all plants and animals are composed of cells. Rudolf Virchow in 1855 further expanded the cell theory by suggesting that all the cells arise from pre-existing cells. The invention of magnifying lenses led to the discovery of the microscopic world. So here we have seven names. Robert Hooke, who discovered the cells, Leeuwenhoek, who discovered free living cells in pond water, Robert Brown, who discovered the nucleus in the cell, Purkinje, who termed the word protoplasm for the fluid part of the cell, and Schleiden, Schwann, and Rudolf Virchow, who proposed and expanded the cell theory. So, I think you're clear with the names and history of the cell. Now, let us discuss about the difference between unicellular and multicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms are the organisms in which a single cell performs all the functions like nutrition, respiration, excretion, and reproduction. The examples are amoeba, paramecium, and bacteria. Multicellular organisms are the organisms which possess many cells to perform different functions. Multicellular organisms represent themselves as a member of group of cells or as an individual. Example: fungi, plants, and animals. The shape and size of the cell are related to the specific function they perform. Some cells change their shapes, like amoeba. Each living cell has the capacity to perform certain basic functions, and there is a division of labors in multicellular organisms such as human beings. This means that different parts of the human body perform different functions. Similarly, division of labor is also seen within a single cell. In fact, each such cell has got certain specific components within it known as cell organelles. Each kind of cell organelle performs a special function. A cell is able to live and perform all its functions because of these organelles. These organelles together constitute the basic unit called the cell. Every cell would have three features: plasma membrane, nucleus, and cytoplasm. All activities inside the cell and interactions of the cell with its environment are possible due to these three features. First, let us learn about the plasma membrane or cell membrane. Plasma membrane is the outermost covering of the cell that separates the contents of the cell from its external environment. It is flexible and made up of organic molecules called lipids and proteins. The flexibility of the cell membrane also enables the cell to engulf in food and other material from its external environment, and this process is known as endocytosis. Plasma membrane allows the movement of some substances in and out of the cell. It also prevents movements of some other materials. Therefore, it is called as a selectively permeable membrane. Movement of substances through this semi-permeable membrane can be done by the process of diffusion, osmosis, etc. Now we'll discuss about the cell wall. Cell wall is present only in plant cells. The cell wall is composed of cellulose and it is permeable, and it separates the contents of cell from the surroundings. It gives shape and protection to the cell. Cell walls permit the cells of plants, fungi, and bacteria to withstand very dilute external media without bursting. Now let us learn about the most important part of the cell, which is nucleus. The nucleus has a double-layered covering called a nuclear membrane. The nuclear membrane has pores which allows the transfer of materials from inside to outside. The nucleus contains chromosomes, which are composed of deoxyribonucleic acid (DNA) and proteins. Nucleus controls all the activities of the cell. As the nucleus carries genetic information in the form of DNA, it plays a major role in cell division and cell development. The functional segments of DNA are called genes. Nucleus plays an important role in protein synthesis and transmission of characters from one generation to another generation. It plays a central role in cellular reproduction. In some organisms, the nuclear membrane is absent and the nuclear region contains only nucleic acids called nucleoid. Such organisms are called prokaryotes. Example, bacteria. But the organisms with the cells having a nuclear membrane are called eukaryotes. The last feature of the cell is cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is the fluid content inside the plasma membrane. It is a jelly-like substance occupying the entire cell except the nucleus. It also contains many specialized cell organelles that perform a specific function for the cell. So, we have 7 cell organelles which are endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, Golgi apparatus, mitochondria, plastids, lysosomes, and vacuoles. They are important because they carry out some crucial function in the cell. The first one is endoplasmic reticulum or ER. It is a large number of membrane-bound tubes and sheets. It serves as channels for transport of materials, especially proteins between various organs of the cytoplasm or between the cytoplasm and nucleus. It also functions as a cytoplasmic framework, providing a surface for some of the biochemical activities of the cell. And there are two types of ER: rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic reticulum are rough at the surface and are associated with ribosomes. These are responsible for the synthesis of proteins. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum are smooth at the surface and are not associated with ribosomes. It helps in manufacture of fat molecules or lipids. It also plays a crucial role in detoxifying many poisons and drugs. Some of the proteins from rough endoplasmic reticulum and lipids from smooth endoplasmic reticulum help in building the cell membrane, which is known as membrane biogenesis. Now, the second one is Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus is named after the biologist Camillo Golgi, who first described it. The Golgi consist of a stack of membrane-bound cristae. These membranes often have connection with the membranes of ER and therefore constitute another portion of the complex cellular membrane system. Its functions include the storage, modification, and packaging of the products in the vesicles. It is also involved in the formation of lysosomes. The third one is lysosomes. Lysosomes are membranous sacs filled with enzymes. These enzymes are made by RER, rough endoplasmic reticulum. They are a kind of waste disposal system of the cell. They help to keep the cell clean by digesting any foreign material as well as worn out cell organelles. Lysosomes contain hydraulic enzymes which are capable of digesting cellular macromolecules. When the cell gets damaged, the lysosomes may burst and its enzymes may digest the cell itself. Hence, lysosomes are called as suicidal bags. The fourth one is mitochondria. These are cellular organelles termed as powerhouses of the cells. These are bounded by a double membrane. The outer membrane is smooth while the inner membrane is thrown into folds called cristae. The cristae increases the area of cellular respiration. Mitochondria releases energy in the form of ATP molecules. ATP is known as the energy currency of the cell. Mitochondria have their own DNA and they are able to make some of their own proteins. The fifth one is called as plastids and it is present only in plant cells. These are of two types, chromoplast, colored plastids and leucoplast, white or colorless plastids. Plastid contain pigment called chlorophyll which are known as chloroplast. These are important for photosynthesis in plants. Chromoplasts are the organelles which provide bright colors to the plant structure like flowers, fruits, etc. Leucoplasts are the organelles which store starch, oils, and protein granules. Plastids consist of numerous layers embedded in a material called the stroma. Plastids also have their own DNA and ribosomes. Finally, we have to learn about vacuoles. Vacuoles are membrane-bound compartments present in both plant and animal cells. These are storage sacs for solid or liquid contents. These are small-sized in animal cells while bigger in plant cells. In plant cells, vacuoles are big and provide rigidity to the cell. These organelles store water, waste products, and substances like amino acids, sugar, and proteins. The last topic which we have to do in the lesson is difference between plant cells and animal cells. Plant cells possess cell walls, but animal cells do not. Chloroplasts are present in plant cells, but animal cells do not possess chloroplast. Plant cells possess large vacuoles, but animal cells have many small vacuoles. Higher plants do not possess centrioles, but animal cells do contain centrioles. So, the lesson is finally completed and I think you gained lot of information in just few minutes. And please check the description as I attached the PDF file which will definitely help you in your exams. I hope everyone liked the video and share the video to your friends which would be helpful even for them. To watch more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.